Good evening and welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit for a special PSGL event as we wave goodbye to one of the all-time greats of the community of PSGL. Over the years, this driver and this man even has done over 200 races across various leagues, countless victories, podiums and over 2,000 championship points. And we are here then for the Remco Vengeance Testimonial. We will have an 18-minute qualifying session as ever and a 29-lap race. But in fairness, the race is really secondary to celebrating not only the on-track career but also the contributions that Remco has made to the setup over the years. Well, a warm welcome to everyone in the chat. We're just going to have a quick look at the Bahrain International Circuit. 5.4 kilometres, 15 corners. We have 2 DRS zones here. We've been racing here since 2004, but only since 2014 has the race been a night race. That great battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton in 2014, kicking off what, for my money, has made the track far better than it was when it was in the blazing sunshine. And then we've got 3 tyre compounds, your softs, super soft and medium compounds. And now, gentlemen, a view back to the past. We're going to have a quick look at one of the classic Remco moments. He was part of the classic era of PSGL F1, where the likes of Iran and Big C and Remco dominated the race wins and battles for the championship. So on board now with Big C as we take a look at a classic battle between himself and Remco. Going alongside down the main straight. We're going to see a lot of overtaking action at that particular point, of course. They're going through the opening section corner, but Big C and Remco, their rivalry began with an on-track incident in Canada a few seasons before this, and the several seasons where Big C, Iran and Remco were fighting over championship. They had lots of battles just like this one, wheel-to-wheel action, super intense. And at times, the respect wasn't quite there, but in the long term, these two, perhaps like Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in real life, really earned the respect of each other as hard racers. As Remco runs miles wide there. And they go side by side once again. In this particular race, actually, it was actually neither Big C or Remco won it. It was actually Lordy Boy that won the race in the end. Remco having an incident late on in the race which allowed Big C to finish in second place. But it's just nice to see some footage from that particular era. Now in terms of the lobby, we are going into qualifying soon, but we're just going to let this run out and then we will join the qualifying session. And was originally going to be Australia, but there was a vote and Bahrain instead is the track instead, which I'm really glad about, to be honest. Because, to be honest, Bahrain is a far better track for racing than wheel-to-wheel than Australia. So here we are then, at Bahrain. The floodlights, a splendid night circuit here. And of course, it will be on the season 22 calendar of PSGL, which kicks off in 2019. I, of course, will not be commentating any of the leagues, so I'm going to be a very interested spectator. You will be able to catch Iran and Tejua as a PSGL F1 commentary team. And the other commentary teams, I believe, have been announced on PSGL, if they haven't already. So let's see who's in the chat. We've got Lewis Milam, of course, Jack Tyler, Racy McRaceface, Chulo, regular viewer, and Lewis Welch, who has actually joined this race. So that's good to see. We have multiple PSGL F1 champions, multiple PSGL champions in other divisions as well. And it is perhaps fitting that Big C and Remco take the Mercedes cars, as we just saw from that F1 2015 duel in the desert. So it's going to be interesting to see what the approach is, and actually this may prove to be some useful data for those who are going to be racing at Bahrain in PSGL F1 next season, and perhaps the other leagues, of course. 3 tyre compounds, as I mentioned earlier, the medium, super soft and soft compounds. Bahrain traditionally has been very hard on tyres, so I believe it's the same on this game. So the one stop will be what they're looking for. But let's have a look then at the man in question. Remco is in the pits at the moment, so as soon as he comes out, I will certainly go on board with him to give him some airtime. But Big C as I mentioned earlier, has many battles with Remco over the years. The classic era of PS2 F1. This was long before streaming was as easy as it is today. So a lot of the footage you can see of that is not taken from the onboard of the PS4. It's actually, you know, iPads, mobile phones. I mean, imagine if we had to stream a race for an iPad or, you know, for a mobile phone these days. It's just crazy how much the technology has come from. And it looks like Odems has left the session, but hopefully he'll be able to come back. But that looks like a disconnect. Don't think there's going to be much call for a restart for one driver, to be frank. And it looks like Remco is in the chat, so a warm welcome to you, Remco. I hope you enjoy this broadcast tonight. As Big C, a big swerve through the opening section of corners there. No idea what the time's going to be, but let's talk about Remco for a bit. 202 PSGL races entered across various divisions. But in terms of his PSGL F1 career, 90 races, 22 victories, and 58 podiums. And yes, Epic Gamer, you're absolutely right. The spectator options on F1 2015 were god awful compared to what they are now. 2016, you had to you had to join the game, then quit on the formation lap, then rejoin the session. It was really awkward. So you have to give Codemasters credit in terms of an esports platform. In my opinion, it's one of the best available on the market. I mean, you know, GT Sport may be a better racer in terms of realism, but in terms of its spectator options, it's pretty garbage. As a 126.302, the first time then of this particular session. So as I mentioned, Remco, a former PSGL F1 champion, he won that in season 8, and he had an amazing run actually from season 8 to season 11, where he didn't finish outside of the top 3 of the championship. So it just showed you how competitive he was back then, up against some of PSGL F1's greats, likes of Irin, of course, Lordy Boy, Big C, lots of classic names, many of whom are no longer driving in PSGL F1. Big C, one of the last survivors in effect of that era in the top tier of PSGL. Now Lars Gaming setting a time on the mediums. We'll probably be looking to set a time on the softs later on. If you can get to the top 10 on the softs, that would give you a strategic advantage. Not sure how long the super softs will last here, as Jaychitects sets a 125.9 F3. I get the sense if we see any super soft times early on, they're not going to be representative, although Jay's could be. We'll find out later on. So I'm going to read some extracts then, which were provided to me by Big C and Irin. So let's talk about, because prior to Big C joining the leagues, Irin and Remco are actually one of the big rivalries. And I think going on board with Remco will be appropriate for this moment. So in Season 7, Remco and Irin were the main title contenders. Remco started the season really well and was the early favourite. But Irin then won the final 5 races to take the title. And then they had an amazing battle at Spa that season, which many considered to be the best race of that season, if not one of the greatest races in PSGL F1 history. And then in the following season, in Season 8, Remco once again started off very strongly. He passed Irin on the penultimate lap at Spain, which was Catalonia for that particular game. And then there was another great battle between the two at Spa, which Irin won. And then it went down to the final round of Brazil. They were both level on points. And he won the race, Irin second, and he took his first and only PSGL F1 title. So this is Remco on a flying lap, I believe. We'll keep on board with the splendid silver Mercedes, number 20 on the car there. And then Season 10, there was a massive battle for the championship there. A 4-way title battle between himself, Irin, Big C, and Jamie, of course, who would later go on to win the championship in the first season I covered of PSGL F1. Remco was the favourite. But Irin went on to win that, finishing 4th in the final race. Remco took 2nd, he believes. and he won the title that season. So very interesting stuff there from, I mean, at that time I was I was a FIFA gamer back then. I was in a really serious league back then. But F1 was, in terms of playing F1 games, was not even on my mind. I mean, I played the games, of course, but I didn't do any online racing. All I did was a bit of career and you know, I think F1 2012 and 2013 I missed out completely. 2013 I'm sad to miss out on because I've heard that was an incredible game. 2014 I definitely didn't play. I think I played the last month of 2015 and then 2016 onwards started playing it really seriously. So Remco setting a 1:27.271. So 2 Mercedes in the top 3 currently, with just over 10 minutes of the 18-minute session to go. So our next contribution then is from Big C, who, as I mentioned, joined after Season 8, I do believe. And his rivalry started with Remco in Season 9 at Canada. They had a collision on the very last lap of the race, which allowed Iran to take the win. But after that, there was a lot of bad boy and Remco. Goodness me. Well, whether he did that on purpose or not, if he didn't, that was slightly embarrassing for Remco. He won't want that on his end of career highlight reel. But I'm sure gives a bit of entertainment for the viewing public. As Remco heads out back to the pits. Let's see if there's anyone else. Let's mention some of the other drivers here today. It's a very varied field here. We've got multiple former and current PSGL F1 champions. Blizzard in the Force India, Lewis the season 20 champion, Ashbest the season 19 champion, and then we got Hulkenburger, the new F4 champion. And then we got Joruro, my title rival in F7, Jack Tyler, many people's pick to win the F5 championship next season. And someone who really came of age to a degree this season. Still needs to find that consistency, but he's now a multiple race winner in equal and performance cars, and of course GT Sport. So it's an interesting formula. You know, if you don't crash as much, you have a chance to win races. And then of course we've got Game of the Best, a 2-time PSGL F1 runner-up and 2-time F2 champion, of course. But it's just great because I wasn't around for that classic era, so the fact that we get to see Big C, Remco and Iran, plus the likes of Joelianomanu and Josh, aka Boywithnoface, on the track at the same time, it's a real glimpse into what was an incredible era of PSGL F1, PSGL in general. And it's good to see the likes of Frizzo back on the track. You know, a lot of people unfortunately know him for that infamous bottling incident he did on Australia, which until very recently was my most watched video on this channel. But thankfully Frizzo, very randomly, one of my Spider-Man PS4 videos is now the most watched video on the channel, which is really random when you see what it is. It's literally a video where I do all the puzzles in this section of the game. But people forget also that for a brief time in F1 2017 and 16, Frizzo was a really good racer. I know saying that as he goes off the track isn't the best timing, I admit. But there were times where Frizzo had really good pace. And, you know, his trajectory at one time, I believe he was heading towards PSGL F1. But then that Australia incident, he never recovered from it. The sheer embarrassment of it. I mean, people knew that incident well beyond PSGL, but I'm not going to be cruel. I'm not going to talk about it anymore unless someone brings it up. And I'm sure someone in the chat will be. So who else is in the chat? We've got Jamie, aka Epic Gamer, in there. You know, I'm not expecting grand viewing figures, but hopefully we get a decent audience because I think Remco deserves a good send-off. I just hope we see a good race. I always enjoyed this track for league racing, watching it or racing in it. As Big C goes back to the top of the 1:25.768. To a degree, I'm not sure they're going to worry too much about strategy. This is all about fun. Hopefully we'll just see everyone, you know, two-stopping just to mix it up a bit. I'm sure someone like Blizzard will try and use this as practice for the coming season, perhaps. And actually, at 1:26.858 on the mediums. Is that his best time? Yeah, on the mediums. That's not a bad time at all. So the top 3 on Super Softs. Top 5 on Super Softs, apart from Blizzard. 1:26.858, that's a really good time. As we get some interesting... That's Joelianomanu Or is that Game of the Best returning to the pits? Not sure. It is Game of the Best. Interesting slides into pits. Game of the Best currently in the top 10. Lewis is actually onto the track now. So actually, I think we're going to do an onboard lap with this fellow, the season 20 champion, who finished season 21 pretty strongly. So he will be one of the contenders next season, I believe, to challenge Blizzard for the PS4 F1 Championship. So around the final corner then, very easy to run wide and lose traction. So Lewis would have lost a bit of momentum there as he crosses the line, so that might affect his overall time in Sector 1. As the heaviest braking zone of the track then. Turn 1, trying to get a tight apex, not going too wide, and then building the momentum, cutting the curb a little bit, and then heading up towards Turn 4. Watch for the marker balls on the left-hand side, getting it all the way down to 3rd gear in this case, and then heading to the end of Sector 1. And then a very nice section of track, very flowing, 5, 6 and 7. And then going downhill, being careful not to run wide as you get invalidation, getting a tight apex into turn number 8. And then the trickiest corner on the track, braking zone at turn 9 and 10, very easy to overshoot onto the curbing on the outside. If you do that, you'll lose best part of half a second there if you go wide there, as you lose so much momentum. And he's opening the DRS then, 2 DRS zones here, going into turn 11. Always like this part of the track, flat out through turn 12 as long as you get your line right, as the Force India thankfully gets out of the way through end of sector 2. Another tricky camber corner there, turn 13, and then the back straight as we go into sector 3. Very short sector 3 here at Bahrain, and then being careful not to take too much curb because that can really ruin your momentum. I think Lewis scrubbed that lap rather, but you know, nice to see a demonstration of a lap here. Most of the drivers in the pits at the moment. Now let's have a look at Ashbest. Ashbest in the Renault. Renault suits him actually. Nice, shall we say, reggae sort of helmet there. As Ashbest does a bit of whoa! Goodness me, he went airborne briefly there. If it was a Red Bull, going airborne would be quite appropriate, but in a Renault, I think he wants to keep his 4 wheels firmly on the ground, but obviously trying to skip parts of the track to get back to the pits, although he's going to be pushing it. To be honest, I doubt he'll be able to get back. But 1:27.506 on the mediums, not a bad place to be. Significantly behind Blizzard's time, though. What are they going to do, the drivers on this lap? Let's have a look. Did Odems get back into the session? Clearly he did, although he's lagging a little bit. And sources tell me that Remco has no front wing, so I wonder, a no traction control special. To be fair, if I did traction control, I wouldn't. No traction control, I couldn't do it. Not afraid to admit that. Hell, I can barely keep the car on the track with traction control on. Yes, Chilo, I have. I'm not ashamed to admit I have cut a ton of corners to get back to the pits in time, because you know it's not an actual lap, so it doesn't really count. I mean, I don't do it all the time, but sometimes needs must. I did it at France because it's very tempting to do so. Besides, that's the proper way the Mistral Straight should be taken. As Frome and Blizzard join the chat. We're on board currently. It's Hulkenburger, I think it is. It is indeed. So we'll keep an eye on Hulkenburger. Let's get the telemetry and time. Oh, that's an outlap actually. But I'm going to focus really on the likes of Big C, the experienced Iran. Well, they're all experienced, these guys. You know, these guys have been around forever. Big C is not far off 200 PS2 F1 races. So I think he's done nearly double what Remco managed in PS2 F1. Just shows you how long Big C's been around. As Odem's retired with a 1:26.447 on softs, which is actually a really good time. He's joining PS2 F1 next season, of course. So this is a nice rehearsal for the 2019 seasons when they come around. Parts of me will definitely miss the commentating on them, but I think watching it as a viewer, it's going to be a different experience. So I'm really looking forward to that. So Big C on his outlap. What about Iran? Iran is out there at the moment. Let's see what they've all got fitted. Iran Is this a lap for Iran? Oh yes, on the softs. Getting a nice toe from the Red Bull ahead. Now is that Joelianomanu, his old Sauber teammate, giving him a bit of assistance there? So here comes Iran. What's it going to be? It's going to be 8th position. So that's a good lap from Iran on the Super Softs. There's Big C. Powers his Mercedes through Sector 1. Not sure if that's faster than his last sector, but it looks pretty smooth from the 7-time champion so far. As QPR Beast retires from the session in P3, the 126.045. Big C clearly looking for pole position, trying to get the car slowed down, locking the tyres. Ooh, of oversteer as he puts the power down. Don't think he would have lost too much time. What about Remco? Did Remco get out in time? Remco is in Sector 3. I think he missed the cutoff. Yeah, his session is done, unfortunately. 126.720 though, so he's in the top 10 at the moment. Big C carries on. Jaychitects in second at the moment. Now what about Lewis? Where is Lewis at the moment? Lewis still going on his lap, so we'll go back to Big C. He rounds the final corner then. This could be the fastest super soft time of the session. It's not an improvement. So we'll go back to Lewis. What about Blizzard? Blizzard is on the softs. Now Blizzard can get into the top 5 on the softs, as Odems, I believe, has. That would be his aim, I'm sure. No, Odems has low pace. He's going to get a nice toe from Sauber. Well, at least I thought he was going to. I think that was Jack Tyler coming back into the pits. And Blizzard goes faster than Odems by just over 1/10 of a second. Anyone else out there? Ashbest. Lewis is heading on the back straight. Where is Ashbest? Ashbest also on the back straight. So these two are going to finish together. So quite a mix in the top 10 potentially if they get to their full potential in terms of lap time on these soft tyres. And the qualifying, Lewis must have invalidated. Ashbest will cross the line and it's P7 for Ashbest. So we have 3 soft runners in the top 10. Lewis will be starting at the back. Remco in his testimonial race will be starting in P8. And I think he'd be quietly satisfied with that given the fact he hasn't played the game too much of late. So, an interesting qualifying session. As I get some nice juicy experience points. Now, my last stream, we had an important commercial. Unfortunately, I got shouted at by Damon Hill for reminding him of that embarrassing advert, so there won't be another one this evening. Big C taking pole position from Jaychitects. QPRB's Blizzard, row 2. Then we have Odems, Joelianomanu, Ashbest, Remco on his testimonial race, Jack Tyler and Josh in 10th. Then we've got Iran, Game Freaker, Hulkenburger, Game of the Best, Lars Gaming, Joruro, Frizzo Stock, JRayBay and Lewis making up the grid for this testimonial race here at Bahrain. No, unfortunately, JRayBay, no commercial tonight. I couldn't get the rights. It cost me £1 million to put that commercial up last time, and I just don't have a spare. Too much spent at Christmas. Alright, quick glug of water, and we're going to roll on here. Now, I believe there isn't going to be a formation lap, so I think we're going to go straight into the action here, which is good. We shall see if that is the case. 66% of this lap taken at full throttle, and it's a fairly short distance to turn 1, 265 meters from the start finish line. It's a real concertina effect of this turn 1. You know, if you get your braking wrong in terms of the cars ahead, you will lose your wing immediately. There is not really anywhere to go. It's a very tight turn 1, so especially in the actual races we'll get next season PSGL, that's something they've all got to watch out for. So this may be useful experience for those who are still racing. But we have no formation lap, so we're going to have the 5 red lights immediately. Big C, Jaychitects on the front row. Lights out, and away we go. Oh, and it's a terrible start from Jaychitects. What happened there? That was a Sebastian Vettel special. And here comes QPR Beast, former teammate of Big C in PS4. He's going to go for the lead, and he does. Look at that, what a start by QPRB, straight into the lead of this Testimonial. Let's hope there's no damage for Remco, just keeps going, but what a sensational start by QPRB. Blizzard up to P3, Joelianomanu just behind. Remco is down to 11th, I hope something bad hasn't happened to him, we'll keep an eye on him. Blizzard right behind Big C as they go into the opening section of corner, and yes, QPR Beast living up to his name with that start. Joelianomanu just behind Supersoft. Blizzard will be slightly vulnerable at first because of the tyre disadvantage you'll have, but they'll come to him later. Now, let's have a quick look at the man of the moment, Remco. Any damage for him? No, he's not, and he's battling alongside Iran. How appropriate is this? I'm sticking with this for a few corners. Here they go then into turn 9 and 10, and McLaren just hit the back. That was Hulkenburger, I think. And now Remco is going to try and come back at Iran. Well, this is brilliant. This is what I wanted to see. A bit of old school action here. Remco's going to try and go back down the inside of Iran, and they're going to go side by side. Well, for a brief moment anyway, and Blizzard is battling furiously with Joelianomanu. But this is what we've come to see, some old school action here in terms of PS2 F1. But let's head back to the front because there's a really fierce battle going on here between the new PS2 F1 champion Blizzard and the 7-time champion Big C as QPRB scampers away in the Haas. Absolutely sensational start there. And here comes Blizzard then. There's going to be a lot of potential for free wide action here. And I hope we'll see from GC. Look at that. Big C trying to squeeze him, but here comes Blizzard down. Oh, terrible camera angles. I do apologise. But here they go, side by side through the open section corners with the superior traction for the time being of the Supersofts really being key there for Big C. He's going to try and block him off. Here comes Joelianomanu just keeping a watching brief. Oh, he's actually had a little look as well. Oh, there's contact. And I think Blizzard's just lost part of his wing. Yes, Blizzard has lost part of his wing. Well, that was an unusual mistake. I don't know if Joelianomanu pushed him into Big C. I have no idea, but that's going to heavily compromise his race. And Joelianomanu dives down the inside of Big C. Well, I tell you what, if this is what the actual race is going to be like in 2019 at Bahrain, it's going to be a welcome addition back to the calendar here. Now, Blizzard really struggling already, and he's got Jaychitects behind him, who's recovering from that terrible start he had. I mean, that was a shocker right there. Remco in P10 at the moment. There's no points, of course, here tonight. A lot for pride, but look at this. QPR Beast, 2.2 seconds ahead of Joelianomanu at this early stage. Now, Blizzard surely will have to be pitting. He's definitely got damage to those end plates on the right-hand side of his Force India. And that's just going to ruin his strategy completely. But hey, maybe everyone should just do 2-stop anyway. There's been a few pit stops on lap 1. Frizzer Stork, Lars Gamer and JRayBay have pitted for wing damage by the looks of it. But no, Blizzard is going to carry on. Still going to have the straight line speed. Big C is going to have to think about defending. And Blizzard comes down the inside. Yes, perfect view from Jaychitects. And they're going to go side by side, but Big C's going to cut. Again, the lack of downforce is going to really hurt him at this point. As Blizzard, this could be a sign of things to come next season. Oh, and he's made contact with Big C. Big C force wide. Well, that was pretty clumsy from Blizzard, it has to be said. But the lack of downforce just got his braking all wrong. And Big C's not going to like that one bit. And I think he's going to come back. Oh, he does. Big lock of the tyres. But look, the switch back from Blizzard. And that's going to leave him vulnerable to Jaychitects. Well, if you wanted entertainment, you're in the right place tonight, folks. This is absolutely brilliant so far. Even if some of it is a bit clumsy. And what on earth's happening behind there? Josh has just taken 2 places. Well, Ashbest and Jack Tyler going into battle here. Ashbest trying to get there. The super softs are going to be wearing off at this point already. So those on the softs are going to be starting to make their moves forward. Oh, whoa, is that a spin? Was that contact? Oh, Ashbest off the track. What on earth happened there? I think he may have gone onto the curb, actually, because if you go onto that inside curb, for that particular turn 12, you can spin the car around. So I think that's what we just saw. I don't think there was contact. But meanwhile, up ahead, more battling going on here. As Lewis makes his way from the back of the grid. He's now up to P9, just past Jack Tyler. Remco is up to 8th position. Now Lewis trying to defend from both Saubers at the same time. They're going to go 3 wide almost as they go into turn 1. Jack Tyler down the inside. Oh, and there's contact between Jack Tyler and Remco up ahead. Goodness me. Oh, more contact between the Sauber and oh my goodness, it's all going Pete Tong here at Bahrain. Hulkenburger is off the track. And Hulkenburger has decided to call it a day. According to Team Radio, Ashbest very angry at Jack Tyler. He's been tapped by the Sauber. That's what caused that spin. Didn't get a good angle of it. Let's have a look then at the top three. 3.1 seconds now between the top three. Big C right by Joelianomanu. He's a bit of a Joel train at the moment. Everyone climb aboard. Choo-choo. Can Blizzard get back in front of the Red Bull? So Hulkenburger, first retirement of this race. May have been some desyncs involved. Oh, and a spin, and there goes Joelianomanu. Bit more desync there, maybe. I'm not sure. Or contact from Blizzard, but Joelianomanu slipping down. So Remco is now up to 7th position. Can he win this race? That would be incredible. But he's going to be better than Blizzard. Gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for gaining a place, so may have been some contact involved there. But let's go straight back to Big C, who's looking to make a move on Blizzard. He doesn't seem to be taking any prisoners here. Straight back to Remco, because he's being overtaken by Lewis. Through the open section corner goes, and Lewis on the medium compound, really going strong here. A 5-second penalty for Jack Tyler for speeding in the pits. That's rather foolish. Straight back to Big C. It's getting a bit personal here, as right behind we see JRay and Odem's going side by side through Sector 1. This is incredible action as Big C dives into... Oh, he's been touched by the other Force India. Well, Big C was looking for a move on Blizzard, and at the same time Odems was trying to go for a move on Big C, and contact was inevitable. But this is absolute chaos here. The battle for the podium. As Jaychitects goes past Big C and moves back up to 3rd position as he continues to recover from his awful start. Yellow's in Sector 1. We're not going to focus on that for the time being. There's so much going on. Here comes Odems diving down the inside of Big C as Jack Tyler retires from the session. So that's our 2nd retirement of the race. Now who's that just by? That is Josh, Boywithnoface. Looking to make a move on Odem's head. So Big C, those super soft tyres really burning off now. So I think he'll be thinking about a pit stop here. Might even have some wing damage, to be honest. So Remco watches his teammate for the night go in. And here comes Game of the Best. Remco will try and cover the inside, but it's going to be an easy pass for the Red Bull driver here. Game of the Best, who has had so many outstanding performances in the recent history of PS2 F1, passing a driver who himself has had many incredible performances in PS2 F1, including winning a championship back in Season 8. So lots of great action so far here at the Bahrain International Circuit. So your top 10, KPR Beast, Blizzard, Jaychitects, Odems, Josh, Lewis, Game of the Best, Remco, Iran F1, and the F7 champion Joruro is up to P10. He'll be in F4 next season, of course. So good luck to him as he makes the step up after a well-earned promotion in the lower order. So no safety cars so far. 3-second time penalty for Ashbest. I think he had to get his wing fixed, of course. Now let's have a look. What battles can we see? Let's have a look at Jaychitects. Actually, no. Let's go back to Iran, because Iran is looking to attack Remco in this another blast from the past. Not quite close enough yet. So let's have a look at Lewis. There's about 2 battles here. Jaychitects versus Marquez. Or Odems rather, and then Lewis versus Josh. The super soft runners are really struggling now. There's 2 overtakes going on. Up ahead, it's so much going on. Odems going side by side. Look at that, side by side action, and it's going to be Odems who passes Jaychitects. Now what about Iran? Iran trying to attack Remco. This is what we came to see. Big C then has come out. Let's see what tyres are all on. Big C on the soft compounds. That's clearly an indication of a 2-stop strategy. So he's looking to have some fun. So Remco, 7 laps he's done on those super softs. Iran on those softs will be definitely in the ascendancy now in terms of tyre wear and performance. Now here comes Iran. Is he going to think about a move to the inside here at turn 8? Often a place for an opportune overtake, but there is a lot of risk involved in doing so. Get it wrong, you can damage it all, and Aaron really struggling for traction there. Almost like he got a stall for his aero there. That was a strange moment for Aaron. He carries on, no harm done. So let's go back to Lewis, who's now pursuing. It's been a remarkable race for Lewis so far from the back of the grid. So let's see in terms of the winners and losers. 14 places gained by Lewis. He started 19th, so he's by far the big winner here. So on the strategy he's on, he could well be a factor later on in this race. Now in terms of the tyres they're currently on, QPR Beast has a 3.6 second advantage. Blizzard's coming back at him, so maybe Blizzard's damage isn't that significant. Although Odems is beginning to close in on him, as you can see. And we'll go straight back to Aaron, because Aaron's now going for a move on Remco. Remco really struggling with traction now, and he gets a horrible exit out turn 3. Here comes Aaron. Remco will cover the inside. This is what we came to see. As the man himself would say, the Sauber versus the Mercedes. Aaron's beloved Sauber team. Going for it here. Let's hope Remco doesn't push these tyres too hard and get a puncture, because that would be a real shame. We'd like to see him finish in the top 10 at least. But Aaron now furiously trying to get past. These two have battled each other countless times in the past. Maybe not in the recent history of PSGL, but when they were at the height of their powers, when they were fighting for championships in the top tier, these were two of the very best. Well, in a way, I wish it was possible for me to commentate on those, because there must have been some fantastic rivalries back then. And here comes Aaron. I don't think, yeah, Remco has no life left and no super soft tyres. This should be an easy move. Remco will surely be pitting on this lap, because he's got nothing left in those tyres. Jaychitects will be pitting as well, so I think the last of the super soft runners will be pitting soon, although QPR Beast carries on, so he's had a very impressive first stint so far. Will Remco come in? Yep, here comes Remco, as does Josh, Boywithnoface. Oh, what on earth's going on there? That was weird. Oh, wait, I don't know what on earth just happened to Jay. He just... That was weird. His car almost looked like it was stuck, but it's okay, actually. Please don't get stuck. If Remco gets stuck, that would be an absolute tragedy. But no, he's fine. Mercedes pit crew do a good job. But there's Big C just going past in the background. And actually, he's going to come out... Oh, where's Remco? Is Remco going to come out and clean track? No, he's not. He's going to come out just behind Frizzo. And actually, he's going to come behind Lars as well. Oh, my goodness. Remco nearly ending his race right there on the back of the Toro Rosso. It was nearly Stroll and Sainz in 2017 there. Remco in P14, but he's on the softs as well. I don't think he'll go to the end on those. As Lars looks like he's closing in on the back of Frizzo. So here comes Lars. Lars will think about moving to the inside. He's going to go to the inside. Oh, how deep did Frizzo go there? He's going to lose probably 2 places at least. Remco's going to get past as well. And indeed he does. So Remco, that's one car. That was a horrible moment for Frizzo there. Clearly very rusty. Not the driver he was in 2017, that's for sure. But it's good to see him anyway. As QPR Beast hits then from the lead of the race. Now, Big C is going to be an interesting one. I wonder how much of an undercut he's got, because he's been on those softs for a while. He's now caught Josh, who actually pitted for the mediums earlier. Who hasn't pitted yet? I think yeah, a significant amount haven't pitted. So Josh, perhaps the lead car. So in fact, it's actually Jay who's ahead of these two. No, here comes QPR Beast coming out. He's got a significant advantage to Jay actually. So that's... Wow, his pace has been... His in-lap must have been absolutely brilliant. Or the pace on the mediums wasn't great for their out-lap, so they weren't able to undercut really at all. So no real time loss for QPR, so he's got a significant advantage at the moment. What tyre did he go on? He went on to the medium, so he'll be looking to go to the end of the race. It's a long second stint. As JRayBay passes Frizzo for P15. Frizzo not enjoying life at the moment. Lars has been overtaken by Remco up to 12th position. So quite a gap though between himself and Big C. 7.9 seconds. So So in terms of our on-track battles, it's Big C closing in on Josh. That's going to be our main focus for the time being. My bad, just pressed the triggers by mistake. So it's kind of calming down at the moment. We're just waiting for the sort of strategies. It was really crazy first stint for a lot of them. Blizzard pits then. Now, I just want to have a look at Blizzard. Was he getting a... So wing change. Oh, we have the penalty as well, of course. So that's going to massively cost him. So yeah, Blizzard not really going to be a factor to win the race here, you would think. They put him down, the Force India goes. But all that time loss. Oh, he's not stuck, is he? No, he's okay. Thank goodness. So Big C then trying to make a move. Look at that great camera view of the tower. Is Big C going to be close enough? No, not quite. As Blizzard rejoins. And, well, I wonder if Big C had a wing change as well, because he seems to be quite a long way off those who have stopped ahead of him. Look at this. Nice battle here for P13 between Ashbest and Lars Gamer. F1 versus F4. You would think it would be a no contest, but Lars is a feisty racer, but didn't have enough to overcome the Season 19 PSGL F1 champion of Ashbest, as we get this nice helicopter view. One of my favourites, actually, because if you look at the top, you can see the cars streaking off on the second DRS zone. Really nice camera view there. I'm going to stick with this for a few more moments. And in terms of battles, Big C still trying to get ahead of Josh, but unable to do so at the moment. Yellow's in Sector 2. Something's happened to someone who has had an off. No significant changes in the timing screens. Was that Remco, maybe? Remco struggling a little bit on those softs, it seems. As Joruro pits then from P5. He will soon be caught by Ashbest by the looks of it. Let's switch our attention to Big C, because Big C is now closer to Josh than he has been since coming out. Big C trying to make a move. No, he's just not close enough. Last gamer coming back. As Joruro comes out just ahead of Remco. So we're going to have a look at Remco, because Remco's battling with the F7 champion and goes round the outside through turn 2. Cold tyres of Joruro made it difficult for him, but it was a well executed rolling back the years there. Remco going up to P11. Ashbest now right behind his teammate. So Joruro getting some good practice in for F4. Oh, Ashbest! Is that desync or is that an incident? He didn't seem to be near anyone and he's off again. But Lars wasn't really close to him. We'll find out on the team radio again, but that's another incident for Ashbest as Big C continues to close in. So in terms of those who haven't stopped, the top 5 haven't stopped yet. QPRB is the net leader of this race at the moment with a 7.1 second advantage to Jay as Odem's pits. Aaron carries on. It'll be interesting to see where... No wing change for Odem, so he had no damage. Now let's have a look at Big C. Where are these two? I think these two are going to come out right next to Odem's when he exits the pit lane. Look, watch the right hand side. Where's the Force India? Here comes Big C to the inside. And the two Force Indians going side by side, Blizzard and Odem's. Very, very nice camera work from the director there. So Odem's just behind. And up ahead, Big C still battling with Josh. That's another blast from the past there. Side by side, the two Force Indians go. We'll go back to the fact, and Josh has got back in front of Big C. So brilliant driving from Josh. Big C, will he go for a dive to the inside? Yes, he will. Late move on the brakes. And he gets the move done. Josh giving him plenty of room there. So nice respect there from the two drivers. But the two Force Indians are going to be right on the back of these two in no time. So here comes Josh coming back at Big C. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a lunge for a second, but he didn't go for it. Going down again. So let's get the telemetry on actually. hasn't got much battery, so he's going to be struggling a bit to defend from the Force Indies by him. Now here comes QPR. Oh, QPR Beast, a snap of oversteer from the final corner. He's now pursuing as Iran pits from third position. Here comes QPR Beast, maximum attack. Game Freaker tries to cover him off, but he hasn't covered it enough. Here comes QPR Beast, looking like he should still be in PSGL F1, judging by the pace he's shown today. But here comes Game Freaker, who himself was a former PSGL F1 driver. Game Freaker's going to try and come back, and indeed he does. Oh, contact between the two, but luckily no long-term damage, but that's going to cost him a bit of time. 14 seconds between QPR Beast and Game of the Best. Let's have a look at Josh, who's behind him. Aaron's come out in P10, just significantly ahead actually of Remco in P11. Whoa, whoa, what on earth's happened there? Whoa, that was bizarre. Bit of lag going on here. There's a bucking Bronco action there from Josh. And so Blizzard rather ploughed into the back of him, but I'm sure that was lag. And there's still more contact going on. I think someone's lagging. It's either Josh or Oda. Whoa, goodness me, what on earth was that? Well, that was bizarre. Although I shouldn't be that surprised. It's F1 2018, or an F1 game in general by Codemasters. But here comes Big C trying to defend from Blizzard, the reigning champion now of PSGL F1. See, this could get a bit feisty going into turn 1. And he hits the back of Big C. Was that more desync? I don't know. But and Ashbest retired. So we've had 4 retirements. I didn't even notice Joelianomanu retired. So apologies to Joel. As Big C comes back, Blizzard's going to cover the inside if he can. Big C will go around the outside. He's going to have better traction actually. And Big C gets the move done temporarily. Oh, this could end in tears here. Big C is going to try and come back. Not appreciating the upstart's aggressive moves. It's going to show him he's not going to take that lying down. They're going to go side by side. Through the end of Sector 1 they go. Turns 5, 6 and 7. And Big C gets back in front. Will Blizzard come back at him? No, he will not. Where is Odems? He's thankfully didn't decide to go for a move this time. Here comes Blizzard once again trying to get ahead of Big C. They go side by side. Just turn off part of the HUD so we can get the best viewpoint of these two drivers. And look at this action here. As they head down into turn 11. Round the outside goes Blizzard. Big C still hanging in there. And Odems has actually overtaken Josh, who's got significantly older tyres, of course. But this is a fantastic battle. But Big C, I'm sure he'll be trying to manufacture a battle with Remco later on. But he's having great fun. Down the inside he goes. Who went through the activation point first? Oh, they've both gone wide. And I think we're going to have 3 wide action here. That's a terrible camera angle. But here comes Odems. He's past him. Blizzard's going to try and come back at him. Big C's going to stay on the outside and wait to see what happens between the 2 Force Indias. 3 wide as we go into turn 1. 4 wide almost. 2 Force Indias going side by side. Big C. And the 2 Force Indias still going. Oh, and they're still going. Oh my goodness, how on earth did no one get spun around there? Big C's going to try and go around the outside of all 3 of them. There's more weird lag going on. And I think Josh has overtaken all 3 of them. Oh, wing contact. I think Big C just lost a bit of his wing there. As contact again. This is bizarre. Well, while this is all going on, Iran and Remco rapidly catching these 4. Here we go then. Blizzard has overtaken, so he's up to P6 now. Big C down to 9th. But now look at this. P9, Big C. P10, Iran. P11, Remco. Like old times. Although they would have been much further up the field than this not that long ago. Yeah, bizarre scenes in Sector 1 and Sector 2 there. Oh, and a spin. It's Odems. Odems. Oh no, it's all over. That lethal curb at turn 12 claims another victim. And that's our 5th retirement of this testimonial race. And that promotes Big C, Iran and Remco up to 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. Last game is actually closing in on Joruro, and that's going to be possibly a future battle in terms of F4 next season, so that's one to look forward to. But let's have a look at Josh. Josh is now looking for a move on Blizzard, but doesn't get it done. And here comes Aaron. Aaron now trying to get involved in the action, fighting Big C. We've got yellows in Sector 2. Not sure who that is. And whoa. And Josh has left the session, and something's happened to Blizzard. Blizzard's just pulled off the track for some reason. Maybe he was letting Remco get past so that we can get a nice freeway fight between the old timers, which is crazy to say because they're not even that old, but compared to some of the newcomers of the new generation PSGL F1, let alone the other leagues in PSGL, it feels that way. So Josh has disconnected. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin. But here we go then. Aaron battling with Big C. 10 PSGL F1 championships between them. And if you count Remco and Blizzard behind, that makes 12 championships in total. So there's a lot of World Championship quality here. Game of the best pits then from P2. He's going to be on softs for the rest of the race, I imagine. And Lewis, when he pits, they'll have a big tyre advantage. So these could all come together at the end. But at the moment, QPR Beast looks overwhelming favourite to win this particular race. So Blizzard must have had an incident maybe with Josh. It's not like he's coming back now at Remco. Game of the best pits, he comes out. So Game of the best comes out in P4. That's a good place to be. Let's go back to Big C. Big C pits then. Second pit stop of the race. Remco overtaken by Blizzard on a calm Sunday drive at the moment by the looks of it. So clearly, and as it is at other tracks, the one stop seems to be the dominant strategy here. 18.9 seconds then between the top two. You know, I have to say Lewis's pace has been absolutely fantastic, and I think he'll be pitting soon, probably to cover off Game of the Best, I would imagine. So Lewis, the season 20 champion of PS2 F1, will he be pulling into the pit lane to put on some soft boots? And indeed he does. Or is it maybe even super softs? No, I don't think they'll go that far. It's a very long race here at Bahrain, 29 laps. I think Australia's 29 as well. And it is soft tyres. So here comes QPR Beast round the final corner. He'll have a significant advantage. Now, if Lewis can get out ahead of Jaychitects, then he'll be able to give chase to QPR Beast in the final part of the race. As we've got yellows in Sector 3. What on earth's going on there? Blizzard closing in on Aaron. And yes, Lewis comes out in P2. 5 seconds ahead of Jaychitects, and actually only 4.8 seconds behind QPR Beast. So he has pulled this strategy off to perfection. If he can use this tyre life and get up to QPR Beast and overtake him. And now Blizzard closing in on Aaron then. So 4 championships between the two. Remco keeping a watching brief, but he's in P7 at the moment. But I think he'll have to pit again. Big C 20 seconds behind because of that wing. I think he had to repair his wing by the looks of it. So Aaron, one of the best defenders in the history of PSGL. Always a very difficult customer to overtake. And Blizzard, despite his recent success, compared to the experience of Aaron, he'll have to use every trick in the book to get past Aaron. Aaron's got younger tyres as well. So, in effect, it is the literal youth versus experience here in PSGL at this testimonial race. So we've got 14 runners from the 19 who started. As lap 20 begins of this race, Lewis is already cutting significant time into QPR Beast's advantage. I was just having a quick look at the start of the race again. QPR Beast's start. You have to go and see it. Oh, and wing damage for Blizzard. Oh, that was... didn't really need to get so close, did he? But here comes Blizzard. He's going to overtake, and actually, Aaron not really putting up a fight, at least for the time being. I think he's going to try and get him to go deep on the brakes and come back at him. And that's exactly what Aaron's going to do. Well, he's raced here many times. He's going to get a better run out of turn 3, and he's going to come alongside. What a brilliant run that was. It's a different kind of defense. You don't cover the inside, but you get, because it's very difficult braking offline on the inside here, and he gets back in front. And that was every bit of his race time in PSGL there, because he's done that probably in previous games and previous races countless times. And that will be a lesson for Blizzard to consider for when we race here for real in 2019. Now, what else is going on? Has Josh rejoined the session? Yes, he has, and he's battling Game Freaker. These two didn't tend to be at the front, but here for Josh, he was actually he does have a link to Remco to a degree. He overtook Remco, Josh did, on the final lap of the Bahrain race in season 12, and to take his first PSGL victory. And Remco and Josh actually raced together for 3 seasons as well, so there's definitely a link between the two. Here comes Blizzard again, slight wing damage, but he's going to try and come back at him. And once again, Aaron says, you can have the inside, my friend. So Blizzard's got to try and get his braking right, try and cut the apex off so Aaron doesn't get that momentum out of the opening corner. And I think this time, Aaron's not going to get quite as much a leap this time. He still has better momentum. It's going to be much difficult this time because Blizzard's going to be able to cover the inside. Will Aaron make a dive to the inside? No, he won't. He's going to bide his time for the time being. Lewis has already caught the back of QPRB, so this is the battle for the lead is on. Gave him the best, 7.4 seconds further back. So he's overtaken Jaychitects. And Big C and Remco in the Mercedes at Bahrain. They are about to engage in combat, so we are definitely going to have a watch of that shortly. Just want to have a quick look at Josh and Game Freaker. They're still battling, and actually Game Freaker having a look at Joruro. Joruro goes really deep into the corner, gets it slowed down just enough. We'll go straight back to Lewis, because Lewis is now in DRS range, and he's going to maybe launch an attack on QPRB for the lead of this race. QPRB is going defensive immediately. I don't think Lewis is going to be close enough to go for the lead here, so QPRB will be better off going back on the racing line because it's going to compromise his braking otherwise. So can he make a move here? QPRB gets a horrible exit. Those mediums really not the tire to be on right now. Lewis is going to continue to attack. Blizzard pits then. He's going to go on the super sauce probably to set the fastest lap and just overtake some cars, have some fun, because this is what it's all about here tonight. It's not about the race result, it's about having some festive fun before the new year tomorrow. There's a lot of battling going on behind. Hopefully Remco and Big C get closer so we can see some action between them. Lewis so close to the back QPRB. QPRB's multiple PSGL F1 race winner versus a PSGL F1 champion of season 20. QPRB covers the inside. Lewis will have the better traction of those fresh softs. He's been forced off though. Very robust defending from the Hash driver. That was very K-Mag there from the Beast. But he goes deep into the corner. Lewis will come back at him. They'll go side by side. Bang, bang on the wheels, on the back straight. Don't often see wheel-to-wheel action there. But Lewis is going to save all his battery. He's got plenty of it. He's going to launch an attack. Terrible traction, QPRB. So this is going to be a no contest, even with the defending he's going to do. Oh, QPRB nearly went so wide and he went into the pit wall. That would have been highly embarrassing. Here comes Lewis then to take the lead of this race. Can he get the braking done? QPRB will brake extremely late. They're going to go... No, Ryan, we'll see so much of this over the years at Bahrain. Oh my goodness. And QPRB is just... both big contact and Lewis is off the track. Oh wow, there's the end of that then. The Big C is now closing in on Remco further down the order, so we're going to see some fighting between them very shortly. Well, that was QPRB was not giving that one, but whether that was decent or QPRB just said, you know what, I'm getting my elbow out, and that was a smash to the face of Lewis's car there. Lewis will still have the tyre lap to come back. Here comes Big C. Will Remco defend it? Come on, Remco. Yes. Oh, late move there. Lovely. All's fair in love and war. And this is what we came to see. Let's turn off all the telemetry. Let's turn it all off. Some classic PSGL action here. Big C and Remco fighting for position here at Bahrain, just like that video we saw earlier. And they are catching Frizzo, who I believe is a lapped car, so please get out of the way, Frizzo. You're getting blue flags, my friend. Lance Frizzo Stroll moves out of the way, thankfully for us. I just want to remind myself who's ahead of who. Yep, so Remco is ahead of Big C at the moment. Remco actually getting really good traction out of turn 10, staying out of range of Big C at the moment. He's trying to save some battery, putting it down to mode 2. Now let's just remind ourselves what's going on. So Lewis catching back up to QPR Beast. So we may see another good battle between them again. Now where is Irin? Irin is quite far away up the road, so I don't think we'll get a three-way fight between these two, unfortunately. I think Chulo's theory of losing the control of the car slightly and banging into Lewis may be correct, actually, because QPR Beast was really struggling for traction. And that's why Lewis is able to catch up with him so quickly. But here comes Big C once again. Will Remco make another late move? Oh my goodness, how close was that? Side by side through turn 1. And watch out for Blizzard just behind. But Remco still staying ahead of Big C. This is absolutely brilliant. It's like watching history in action. Lewis now 1.2 seconds behind QPR Beast. We may have a quick look at them soon. But here comes Blizzard on the Super Sauce. Goodness me, those Super Sauce will be absolute king of this track at the moment. So this will become a three-way fight. Remco defending for all his worth. And why not? This is his testimonial. He can do whatever he wants. Remco going slightly deep through turn 10. But actually aided with his traction, because Big C is actually worrying more about Blizzard. Here comes Blizzard. He's going to spoil this little reunion a little bit at Mercedes. But Big C, because he's getting the DRS of Remco ahead, is actually aiding him in staying ahead. Now just going to take a quick break from this battle, because Lewis is closed onto the back. Once again, they're really far away of that particular battle. Almost half a lap ahead. So Big C then will catch up with Lewis and QPR Beast later on as they get to the end of their lap, because I think that's where it'll be decided. Here comes Blizzard then. Can he overtake? No. DRS is going to make it really difficult. Big C in the tow of his Mercedes teammate for the evening and former PSGL F1 rival. Big C will get to the inside. Side by side they go, but actually Remco going very late on the brakes. And what brilliant defending by Remco. That was rolling back the time there. That was absolutely sensational from Remco there. Thought Big C had it, but Remco went so late on the brakes and took all of the outside, but maintained the position. Lewis trying to get past. They're on the back straight now. We'll go straight back to Big C. Will he make a move down at the hairpin? Just want to see if he does. He's going to go for it. Late move at the outside, but Remco has the traction of the racing line, and they will go side by side into turn 9 and 10. Oh, this is brilliant stuff. Now go on the next corner. Let's have a look at Lewis. Side by side they go into turn 1. Now will Lewis be able to get the move done this time? He's forced off again by QPR Beast. Oh wow, this is getting a little tetchy. But it's all good fun. I'm sure they'll shake hands afterwards. Well, I hope so anyway. Once again, Remco trying to defend against two drivers who, like him, both PSGL F1 champions. 9 championships in one shot here. Will there be a free wide as they head for the line again? We'll turn the HUD off again. Here comes Big C. He's much closer this time. Remco's going to have to go defensive. He went defensive too late. Watch out for Blizzard. Is he going to try and make a move on both of them? Big C down the inside of Remco, and that might be the end of it. Or maybe not. Remco getting a really good run out of turn 2. Oh, they're making contact here. Blizzard is blocked by a Mercedes. Roadblock here. Remco trying to go round the outside. They are putting on a wonderful show for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Remco back in front. It's a bit of give and take here. And Lewis has finally got past QPR Beast. But it doesn't really matter, because this has been, for me, the absolute highlight of this race. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. Josh and That's appropriate for Josh to be there, former teammate of Remco, as I mentioned earlier. So we got, and my goodness me, a huge moth just went on my screen. That scared the crap out of me a little bit, but never mind. Where did that come from? What on earth? But here we go then. Big C trying to get past his former teammate and championship rival in PSGL F1. Now here we go then. Blizzard clearly has the best tyres at the moment. Josh does as well. This looks like a clear free wide situation we're about to see. So here comes Josh. Give me a better camera angle here. Big C up ahead of Remco. Remco goes to the inside. And look at this. He's going to try and take both of them, Blizzard. Remco's having none of that. Back in front goes Remco. Remco is really enjoying himself out there. I just hope it doesn't end in an instant. I just want him to finish at least. Remco goes really deep. Big C will go hunting again alongside Blizzard as they go to the end of sector 1. And and Big C! Is that? Oh no, I think that was Remco. No, it was Big C actually. Big C is off the track. That was a violent incident. And that ends that really entertaining section of the race there. Might have been desync there, to be fair, but Remco has shown a little bit of why he was such a significant driver in the PSGL F1 era and in the PSGL. Contributed so much to the community. Lots of videos and admin time. He will be sorely missed by the community, no question about it. And now he's trying to defend against two drivers who, frankly, have such a huge advantage in tyres right now. So Remco's final battle in PSGL then could well be with the current reigning champion. So a nice moment for Blizzard to a degree. Remco, you can bet, will not make it easy. Oh, nearly squeezed to the wall, and that was brave from Blizzard. Fair play. Remco will dive back, try and get past him. I think he's not going. Remco's going to try and get back past. Blizzard forced off. They're going to go side by side. No. Blizzard still ahead. Game of the Best has actually caught QPR Beast. But Remco carrying on there. I'd love to see a side-by-side video of that Remco and Big C battle from the one from 2015. That would be brilliant. I might even do that myself. Blizzard down the inside of Remco at the hairpin. But Remco getting good traction once again round the outside. He's going to be going through turn 9 and 10. Watch out for Josh just behind, who apparently is not on the Superstars. Oh, there you go. They just changed back. According to Chulo, Big C touched the front wing of Blizzard, which caused the accident. Remco forcing Blizzard off, and watch out for Josh around the outside. JRayBay now getting involved. Whoa, and Josh trying to take both of them in one move. That would have been an absolutely incredible move. But now on the back straight, it's 3 wide. We're on the final lap of the race now. Going to stick with this for a few more moments. JRayBay dives down the inside. At least round the outside of Josh and then passes Blizzard. So now the final lap's here. Remco's going to have to try and defend the inside. He makes a late move. Remco should have the advantage. He'll have the inside still. Remco. Oh, he's still ahead. Here comes JRayBay. Where is Lewis? Is Lewis near the end of the lap? Yes, he is. Straight back to Blizzard. Blizzard's going to go down the inside of Remco. It has been entertainment galore here in this race. Let's have a look at Lewis. Lewis rounding the final corner, going to go straight back to Blizzard. Oh, yeah, side by side. Lewis will win the testimonial race. Brilliant stuff. Straight back to Remco. Still battling away with Blizzard there. Very proud, showing their Game of the Best, finished second. Third place for QPR Beast, a great effort. Jaychitects recovering to fourth of that awful start. We're going to, I think it's appropriate now. Let's switch the HUD off as Remco does the final half of his PSGL career. battling the reigning PSGL F1 champion. Let's pretend this is a battle for the lead. Let's pretend this is a fight for the race victory here. As Remco goes side by side with Blizzard. I think if Blizzard takes that Remco at the final corner for a DNF, he wouldn't be very popular. Off the track he goes. Here comes Remco side by side. Blizzard's going to back off a bit to let Remco take the line, and there you go. Blizzard, did he finish ahead? Remco finishing ahead of JRay, Josh and Blizzard. So Remco finishes P8, but that absolutely brilliant stuff from Remco. He looked really in the mood, and now he's on his in lap. Crowd rising to applaud him and everything he's done for PSGL. Absolutely magnificent action there. I thoroughly enjoyed that, especially the battle between him and Big C. It's like being in a time machine. I never got to see this, but at least for one race, got to see a little taste of it. As he gets almost a guard of honour from the cars around him. We saw him battling with Aaron, we saw him battling with Josh, we saw him battling with Big C. Remco it was never about winning the race. He's finished the race, he's had some great battles today, and it's really summed up what he's done in PSGL. As we get some customary frame rate issues with the game as it finishes. Remco, it's P8 for his testimonial race, and what a thoroughly enjoyable race it was. And also the final race stream of the year for me, as Lewis celebrates what will be a very morale boosting victory for him going into the real PSGL F1 season in 2019. Which kicks off in a couple of weeks' time, I believe. Joined by Game of the Best and QPR Beast. QPR Beast, outstanding drive from him today, I have to say. Didn't quite have the tyres at the end to defend from Lewis and Game of the Best. But, you know, Game of the Best and Lewis there, two of the protagonists for PSGL F1, along with Blizzard and some of the others, of course. Some nice. So here we are then. Lewis takes the testimonial victory. Head of Game of the Best, QPR Beast on the podium. Jaychitects in 4th. Aaron in 5th, Joruro in 6th, very impressive from the F7 champion. Game Freaker in 7th, and the Dutchman Remco 8th on his testimonial race. JRay in 9th, Josh in 10th, Blizzard in 11th, Big C, the 7-time champion, in 12th, Lars and Frizzo, the two Dutchmen, making up 13th and 14th, and they were your final finishers for this race, with Odems, Ashbest, Joelianomanu, Jack Tyler and Hulkenburger an early casualty. Well, folks, that was thoroughly entertaining. I think you will agree. So, well, it's not as an emotional a moment for me personally as it was doing my final PSGL F1 commentary, but it is sad. I have spoken to Remco a number of times, and it is definitely a sad moment for him to be leaving PSGL completely. But I'm sure we'll see him around. Hopefully he can do some commentaries and maybe some other videos. But in terms of his race career, according to him at least, it is at an end. But he has contributed wonderfully, and I think there'll be some treasured memories over the years. Big respect from Big C and Aaron, probably his two biggest rivals in the league, from what I know. And, well, all I have to say now is, well, thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a very happy and productive 2019. Adios, amigos. Grazie ragazzi.